for thestockminer.com here in the beautiful Black Hills, South Dakota. I'm your stockminer, Brian Johnson, and we got a balmy 40-ish degree day today here in South Dakota. It was 37 right now on my phone, so about 40 degrees here in Rapid, which means short sleeves, shorts. Oh yeah, you betcha. It was actually a really, really nice day with no wind. 40 degrees feels pretty warm to us right now. So spent some time just kind of catching up on things around the house and not doing a lot of trading because there just wasn't much to be done. By the end of the day, the Nasdaq was down by far. All the indices were down, but the Nasdaq by far was the most biggest mover of them all, and it was down about a 0.5%. The other indices were basically break even. We saw nothing but sideways chop. You can see it from the chart right in front of you. There's no direction yet. If this thing's gonna, I really thought we'd see a bigger move by the end of the week, and we still could. We got a couple days left, but there's going to have to be a little bit of giddy up from one of the two sides before the end of the week if we're going to see that happen. Still watching for breaks above and below the levels that we've given, even though we've seen some of the commodities and stuff change course a little bit. Oil was down a little bit today. Gold was pretty much break even. But overall, the markets really went nowhere. Not uncommon to see a few consolidation days during the course of a week. This was ours today. So take a watch these for these breaks coming into tomorrow's trade. Levels have not changed, which is going to make this a pretty quick video. Here we are wandering sideways in or around that 20-day moving average. Really watching closer this down here and this up here. Overall, straight sideways and as boring as it gets when it comes to trading. Not even from a day trader's perspective, there really wasn't much to do today. Nasdaq 60 was down, as you see, so still showing 0.64% on the NDX 100. So the Nasdaq 100 stock's not doing as well as the composite overall, down 14, almost 15 points today, putting us right back down into this range where it's just wandering sideways. Look at this chop. Down and wandering below all these moving averages, but not breaking here and not breaking here, hence having no real direction overall. Look at it pound its way through that 50. The bulls refuse to give that 50. Boy, if there's ever a trade to be made, it's right there. Go long right around the 50, and you're going to make a little bit of money before it's all said and done. It just seems to be working like clockwork right now. So ultimately, overall, still waiting for the more major breaks below here, above here, and hopefully we'll get that kind of a move in the next couple days. I would hate to wander sideways for the rest of the week. From a weekly perspective, we'll talk more about it Friday, but you can see us looking a little bit more, I don't know, bearish, I guess, necessarily on the weeklies. Not much to glean from this yet until Friday's over with. Here's a sideways move on the SPX. Yes, we can make an inverse head and shoulders out of this. I know, I see it too, but until we get a break one way or the other, it's not valid. So when things start to chop sideways, I can make all kinds of formations. I can make this a left shoulder and this a head and this a right shoulder, and we have a head and shoulders happening down here. See that? Here's the neckline I'm drawing. Or I can do a left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and I can make an inverse head and shoulders right here. We can do this all day long. So there's really nothing much to glean from this. More importantly, guys, let's just wait for a break here or a break here and make it just as simple as we possibly can for everybody. Trading really can be simple if you just have patience. Here we are below the 20-day moving average, still stuck within this range, still trapped between the 20 and the 50, and moving straight sideways. No changes to levels going into tomorrow's trading and into the end of the week. VIX managed to work its way sideways, was up about a 1% today, and as I said, holding above that 1920 mark. I like to see that. If you're more bearish on the markets, you want this to keep itself up in this area. See if that changes before the end of the week. Right now, we are looking at potentially 3 closes above this little area that we've been following. This channel has been working its way down. We have now the potential for 3 closes in or above this 1920-ish area. And that's what I said I've been waiting for, to see if this changes the sentiment of the markets at all. Apple was down today, breaking some of these lower levels, still making it very difficult to trade this as it bounces in and around these moving averages here. Same thing happening on the daily. Not much to look at here, except for the fact that we did close below the 20. So a move below the 20 ended up bringing in a little bit of selling today within Apple, but overall still stuck right up here in this range. Really looking for these heavier levels, as we are with the rest of the markets, to be broken before we start taking any kind of serious entries within Apple itself. From a weekly, holding below this blue line, couple days left. Let's see if that manages to keep itself below going into the end of the week. FAS 60 minutes sideways as well. We are still outside of this symmetrical triangle we followed from earlier in the week. We held it on a retest, and now we're right back up to this 32 area. I still like it above 32. We had a pop above it today for very, very briefly, and then it moved right back down below it. So there is definitely some sellers up here around that 32 mark. If you took a trade today, you may or may not have made any money on the move up and over 32. I'm still looking at that 32 level. I still like it up and over that 32, and ultimately above the 20-day moving average for the more conservative. So really your breaks are here and back below 30 for your entries long and short. FAZ doing the exact opposite then, below this the symmetrical triangle. Here we are at the 39 level. I like it below the 39 level. Um, for an intraday trade, if you want to try maybe a trade tomorrow on this to the short side, back below this little 39 level might give you that opportunity, but you're looking at pretty good support sitting down here at 38.50-ish, somewhere down here in the 38.25 mark. You want to watch that very carefully. Still opportunities to make about 50 cents on this particular trade. Bigger conservative guys, I haven't changed. I'm really below the 38 mark and back above this area up here for any kind of long or short entries within FAZ. Let the markets, let the financials, let these type of ETFs break one way or the other before you decide to put any kind of real money at these trades. You're just gambling if you don't wait for the breaks. So have been some opportunities on some individual stocks, but overall the markets have given us nothing, especially today. I mean, we've had moves to day trade up and down, but today we got really nothing to work off of. Let's see if that doesn't change coming into tomorrow and eventually into the end of the week. Keep your eyes on these levels. Let's see if they break, and we will be back with you again tomorrow night. Bye.